So the next question is from one of our young listeners. Shout out to y'all. Hi, Mandy and Weezy. You guys can call me G. Very much enjoy your podcast while at work and wanted to ask y'all what I should do about this situation. I am 19, dating my very committed girlfriend who has showed me everything but love in every way for the past 11 months. But we have a problem. I can't come. On my prom night, I received my first blowjob,
Oh my God,
which was
he's
amazing,
young.
toe curling and all. And there is one problem. I did not come. Keeping it short, it went on till her arm and jaw hurt from doing it for over 30 minutes, and I told her to stop whenever she needs. She did so and went on with our relationship. Also, that was not her first rodeo, and she went through her hoe phase in high school, but fell hard for me. Now, after so many amazing blowjobs, I still haven't came
He said
from...
amazing blowjobs.
Yeah.
I was actually just wondering, like, what if they
No,
weren't that
he
great?
said they're amazing. He said toe curling. I still haven't came from her blowjobs, and now whenever we fuck, lost my V card in October, which is also amazing, which makes this very confusing and very concerning. So he doesn't...
He can't come from sex either?
No. I don't know if it's my stamina or just my head fighting my head, since I do suffer from anxiety. We've spoken and joked about it, and she said... It might just be that I have a lot of stamina since every time I masturbate, it takes about 40 minutes on average. God
Wow.
damn. I would like your opinion. I've listened to your podcast and applied a lot to our relationship to the point I gave someone who didn't like head to her hugging and kissing me after, saying don't leave me after I'm done. So thank y'all for all the tips on treating and pleasing my woman, and can't wait for all the future episodes. Also, I've introduced my girl to y'all since I love your convos. We have been very adventurous to beach blowjobs and head in the dressing rooms and stores. Hope to see you at a future live show. Keep up the tips and good luck. P.S. My girl reminds me very much of Mandy. She enjoys giving me head, very dominant, and I like the idea of pegging. Don't know about that yet, but just getting freaking... And just freaking was overall. From G.
I really wish that we would have read this question with someone better suited to answer, because I think there's a lot more going on that we can't really speak to.
I mean, we have men in the room. Do y'all have issues with coming? Or when you guys were younger? He's 19 and just lost his virginity. So I want to speak to that.
I used to fuck for hours.
Well, can you come on the mic so that they can... I want... So, y'all, this is our camera guy, guys. Welcome Benson on the show,
He's
please.
Indian. He's not a doctor.
Yeah, he's not. Can we... No, come back. Can you share...
Fucking Jesus and
so,
me.
so with this, I wanted to focus more so on his age, and being that he just lost his virginity, if this is something that maybe most men would experience.
I don't know about most men, but I'll tell you firsthand is that I lost my virginity when I was 18, and the way I lost it, first off, I was watching a podcast, didn't actually lose it, had a stroke of impotence for the lip service.
Okay.
I'll give him a
Shout out,
shout
Lip
out.
Service. Okay. Hey.
It was actually the Mano and Uncle Murda episode. And
Okay.
they're talking about masturbating. My ex put that shit on. It was so weird. But but here's the thing. I actually didn't get hard. I actually had impotence for the first month. And that was like very stressful, humiliating. But after that,
Well, wait. So you weren't getting hard for the first month?
anxiety. It was all in my head.
Okay, so like
But
him.
after that, then I was fucking for hours straight. I mean, obviously the first time was like 5 minutes. Then I worked my way up, and then I was just fucking for straight hours. And we had to take breaks, and her pussy hurt.
like you couldn't come?
Come? Don't know. See, that's why I was trying to put my head around it. Like, I was
Because it
mad
happened
young.
to you too, but while you were young and just...
And it was weird. Like, my ex was crazy. She was like, "Oh, he must be fucking other people because when my dick wasn't working, when my dick was overworking." She was like, "What the fuck is the issue now?" Like, she used to get pissed. I have no clue
So
why.
that's not an issue for you now, right?
No.
Do you know what you did for that to change? Was it a change in partners? Was it a change in your thoughts around sex? What made it to where you were then able to have, I guess, regular sex and this wasn't an issue?
I really couldn't put a pin on it. Out of nowhere, it just started changing. Like because me and my ex were on and off, so then it became like got down to like 40 minutes, and then we had a lot of public sex. So I was like, I'm in a rush right now,
Okay, so
like,
well that was an idea.
Beating the clock.
So that's something that maybe he could consider, even to see maybe what's changing in his mindset. Maybe when he's in the house, he feels like he has all the time in the world, and maybe he can come faster if he does it in public more.
But what I will say
But
is that
legally in public, guys.
what I will say.
no legally in public.
No, at a sex club. What? That's in public, technically.
No,
No.
And, it's not.
Okay,
It's
so-
what I will say is that anxiety is closely linked to impotence and not being able to come. I'll let you guys know that right now.
Yeah,
First
that's actually.
I want to let everybody know that. It's
That's a
important.
great
Be
tip.
careful. Talk to
That's
somebody.
So
Talk
talk
to your
to
other
therapists.
dudes.
Maybe
Please
other
talk to your other dudes in private. Maybe just slightly bring it up. Because my
How y'all
dudes,
bring up dick talk in front
it's
of other
hard
dudes?
because a lot of dudes.
Dick talk.
Because a lot of
How
dudes
y'all
don't
do
want
that?
to talk about that. A lot of dudes are like all about like, yo, my shit's on swole. But then I don't know where I brought it up, and then 4 of my other closest dudes were like, yeah, man,
It happened.
I had an issue, and then I was like,
I
yeah,
wonder
man.
if there's like a close older person in your life that can like walk you through that moment, because sometimes at that age you're so immature that you maybe can't.
How old were you?
I was 18.
Okay, and he's 19. So yeah, about the same.
That was
About the
good
same age.
advice. Thank you.
Thank you, Benson. You coming through with shit.
So here's what I was thinking about when he was saying that. There's one of my favorite parts, and it's the very beginning of Charlamagne's last book, Shook One. Did you read it?
It's on my bookshelf. I haven't read it though.
So
I didn't read it.
There's an awesome.
It's on my bookshelf though.
There's an awesome part in the beginning where he talks about an anxiety attack he had going down on his wife. And he says his wife always squirts. They've been together like 18 years, and he was going down on her, and he was high. And he's like,
He thought he was gonna drown.
and he's like, I kept doing it, and I was wondering why she wasn't squirting, and I fucking freaked out. And he's like, I had so much anxiety, and she was laughing, and it was a great story. Actually, embarrassing as fuck. When I met his wife, I mentioned it, and she was like, "Oh my god!" She was like, "I hate that part," but it's the first chapter, and I think that was such a dope part of the book, because even for so long you can get with someone and you can get that anxiety, but I think what it has to do with is there always feels like there's a clock on sex.
Yeah.
And a lot of us have to take that out, which is why I kind of like that thing of like talk about amazing sex without coming. Like women feel like men have to come for it to be over. And men feel like they have to wait for women before they can come sometimes. And we don't really like get to enjoy it anymore. It's like we're figuring out what position we have to be in so we can come. And I think that we should just like explore bodies more. So like a lot more licking and touching and like getting into your senses to really turn you on. Just like women take a long time to get wet, kind of remember that like men can sometimes take, there's a thing that, I almost said his name, Jeeves does with me, body worshiping. And he would literally sit in front of my ass or my pussy and talk about it, talk to it, lick me, fucking tell me how hot I am, put his fingers in his mouth, his nose, whatever, his dick, take it out, do other shit to it. And it's like, it gets me so fucking riled up. And I don't want to speak for their sex, but I would guess at 19, maybe exploring and taking time doesn't seem like a thing, because I didn't do shit like that at 19. So I think talking to an older friend that's mature enough to not laugh at you, 2, looking into that anxiety or sexual therapy or stuff like that if you have insurance, it's covered. And 3, do some more foreplay and things.
A lot more foreplay.
Yeah.
Like I just had and y'all know I don't like head. So I had sex with someone recently, and it was our first time having sex, but we've known each other for years. And he got really hard the night before, but in the morning he wanted sex again, and he just was getting like medium hard, like, but not all the way hard where it just wasn't going. And I was like, nigga, you condom got to stay on. So finally we fucked, but it just wasn't staying. He got soft again, and so he like got into this place where he literally laid in between my legs and just put his mouth, like it was head but finger popping at the same time, and literally made me so wet, and I came that way. So much so, of course, I wanted fucking penetration after. But I was like, Nick, like, got me way wetter than when we were
That's
when we
like
were
some pussy
fucking.
worshiping
And it was
shit.
so, he literally.
Which is funny because you talk about how you don't really like head.
No, and he laid between my legs and was just like looking and like was working it, like, but it wasn't all head. It was a lot of finger play. It was him looking into my eyes, like him wanting to hear me moan, and it was just very intense, and I got so fucking wet. I was like, oh my God.
That right there, though, taking the extra time to like please someone, being a giver helps. Actually, one thing, this is really dumb, but it's true. One of the hardest I've ever came. Oh, I can't even. It always sounds like I'm on my period with her.
You nasty.
Years ago. Okay, I'm gonna say this is like
Nasty as fuck.
6-7 years ago.
You've been licking blood nasty
I was on my
Years.
period, so I couldn't have sex, right? With scissors. She came over. She was drunk. She came over from the club. And she got on top of me and was like rubbing on me, and we were like dry humping, and I was so fucking horny. And I realized it's because I have never really been teased. So like teasing, like, you know.
I love teasing. I love it.
I think y'all should try that in your foreplay. Because if you can't, some people think foreplay is just eating pussy and sucking dick, and it's not.